Our guest is JT Gillespie, who owns Rock Bottom Stone. And on this episode, JT not only shares his personal story of entrepreneurship, but he also talks about some struggles that he's had in his marriage. This is a great episode that is honest and raw and inspiring. I can't wait for you to hear it. All right, well, welcome to our podcast. Thanks for being with us, JT. We love hearing people's stories, kind of like what we were talking about before, and kind of what we already have started talking before we even started filming. So we want to know, who are you? So you can introduce yourself, tell us where you grew up, and maybe even kind of bring us up to how we met.
Perfect, yeah. Where do I start? I'll start from the beginning. Born in Sholo, Arizona. My parents were both from Snowflake Taylor area, and then moved down to Mesa when I was about 2. We lived in Mesa, vicinity, Power and Brown area for a few years. And then when I was 9 years old, my parents built a house in Queen Creek, which at the time, 1993 was like
the middle of nowhere.
Nobody even knew Queen Creek existed, right? So built the house in 93 out here in Queen Creek, and closest grocery store, just for comparison concept, was the Fry's, I believe, on Power and Southern.
Wow.
So no stoplights. Yeah. It was funny, on the way here, I got stopped by the train. I'm like, I haven't been stopped by the train and been late for something because of the train since high school. Because at Queen Creek High School, we used to have the train would come in the mornings, and on the way to school, we'd be late to school. So we had an exemption for train issues, train crossings. But anyway, so we moved out here when I was about 9, 10 in 93. Grew up out here, went to couple different schools, ended up at Queen Creek High School. I was the first graduating class from Queen Creek High School,
cool.
The new one at the time, on Ocotillo out in Queen Creek. And
what year was that?
That was 2003.
Okay.
So 2003. So the freshman through junior year, we were at the middle school, what is now the middle school, and then they opened up the new high school. And we were also the last graduating class under 100 students.
Oh. Wow.
So, which is again crazy, because you look at the growth that this area has had in the last 20 years, right? And I think there's probably at least 8 or 9 high schools that cover everything east of Power Road basically was Queen Creek School District.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now you've got.
I mean, the middle schools have 2,000 kids in them.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. So.
2 grades.
It's insane. But that took me through high school, really. Right after high school, I actually served a mission for the church, and went to Guatemala. So interesting thing, I took 2 years. I always tell the story with it because I took 2 years of Spanish in high school. 90% of my class was probably Hispanic. Oh. And so, not that I love Hispanics. I love the people, love the culture, the Latin culture, but I did not want to speak Spanish. That was the last thing I wanted to do. Yeah. And sure enough, where do I go? Guatemala.
Yeah. But now you love speaking Spanish.
Love Spanish. Yes. I use it. We'll get into this, but use it every single day.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Every single day I'm speaking it. So been super helpful. Spent 2 years down there, learned to love the people. Again, I call them my Chapines. That's the slang or the nickname for the Guatemalan people, or the Chapines. I absolutely love them. And then, so come home. Story starts getting a little crazy there. Start the dating process, kind of looking for the wife, and meet my wife now. At a time when I was actually thinking about flight school. So I was trying to look for a good flight school to go to. And one of the options was at the time it was Utah. It's what was it at the time? Because it's not UVU anymore, or it is UVU.
UVSC.
UV.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Utah Valley University.
Yeah.
It used to be Utah Valley something college.
Yeah.
It was a college
Yeah.
before it was an actual university. Anyways, but they had a really good flight school outside of Provo. And I was on my way up there to go do a flight class with them and check them out. And my wife gave me an envelope and she said, "I'm going to miss you," and had printouts of the weather in Provo and the weather in Arizona. I think it was like end of October, early November.
Nice.
Of course, it's freezing up there. Beautiful weather down here.
That's awesome.
And she said, "You're going to miss it." Well, yeah, that convinced me
you
I
canceled flight
better
school.
stay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So looked at other flight schools, ended up at Chandler Gilbert Community College. They partnered with UND, University of North Dakota, for their flight program. I started that, then got married and ran out of money. And I go back and forth whether I should have continued that or not, because I still enjoy flying and eventually want to get my private license again. But yeah, it's just not a cheap career.
Yeah.
And so kind of quit that, and then surprisingly got pregnant with our first daughter pretty quick, which was a big surprise. We were not expecting it. It's a funny story, but I'll save that for another time.
Are you sure? We have time?
We got time. If we got time, my mother-in-law might hate me for this, but so the how do I even start? Another part of my weaving path of life is I decided to, because we were short on money, newly married, had this great opportunity to go sell security systems in California. So went to California, Southern California, and sold security systems for a little bit. And while we were out there, my wife got an infection and called in and got a prescription.
So she was out there with you?
She was out there with me.
That's nice.
Well, my mother-in-law picked up the prescription. The pharmacist said, if she's on birth control, make sure she knows to use other contraceptive measures.
They didn't tell you.
Mother-in-law didn't say anything.
Do you think she did that? Yeah.
We go back and forth, and I didn't find this out until probably, I think, what birthday was it? I think it was maybe Bella's 15th birthday.
Oh, how funny.
That we found this out. And so,
That's
so
funny.
it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Because
Which I bet you were scared though.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Like not expecting, like that was not part of our plan at all. Like
Not
we
that
wanted,
I know that feeling.
before
buddy.
our first year anniversary, we already had Bella, our baby.
Wow.
And so that was February. Yeah, she was born in February. We'd been married in March the previous year.
So that's similar to us. We were married in March. I graduated in December, right before Christmas. Christmas Day, we found out Braden was coming. And I'm like, what is going on?
What's happening?
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, super scary.
Yeah.
You're still getting to know, I feel like, your spouse, right?
Yeah.
Especially when we only spent 5 or 6 months dating prior to getting married. But on top of that, financial issues. What are we going to do next?
Yeah.
Like you just the mind starts.
Did you have a house or
cruising.
were you renting still?
No, we didn't have a house at that time. We kind of got lucky. My father-in-law was a partnership in a home builder at the time. This was 2007, 2008. And so we got what we thought was a deal because the market was in decline in 2008.
You kept going though?
Kept on dropping. So we bought our house out in Florence, actually, this side of the Arizona farms in Florence, and bought our house out there, and then market just tanked.
Yeah.
Right, tanked. So short sold our house in 2009 for $100,000 less than we bought it for. So,
Wow.
so bought it for 170-ish and sold it for 77, and if I could go back and buy that house for
Right.
77 right now, it'd be,
Go buy
I would have bought 15, 20 of them, right?
Right.
And then, so we short sold that, and that brought us to Power Ranch. And we rented a little condominium, or one of the townhouses here, one of the 3-plex townhouses for a couple years here in Power Ranch, and got to know both of you at that time, which was super cool.
Yeah, we were talking before we got on the camera here. We met. One of our mutual friends invited me to come work out with you guys, and we were basically doing CrossFit in one of our buddies' gym or garage, and there were 5 of us.
Yep.
At least several days a week. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah.
One thing I don't miss about CrossFit is something was always sore on me, always.
All the time.
Like there's never a day where I felt completely
Recovered.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you felt good after you did it, but you were sore somewhere all the time.
All of the time. Yeah. Which, again, has its benefits, but I don't know how guys do it that are 40, 50 years old. It's just like, my body just hurts.
Since then,
all
we've
the
both
time.
given up CrossFit. We do other things.
Other physical activities,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yep.
All right, so now you're in Power Ranch.
Power Ranch, the Power Ranch, I got my real estate license, and then was working kind of for my dad at the time as well. After the market had crashed, we started doing, what is it called? Bank.
Like REOs.
REOs, yes. Yep. And so we were helping the banks clean out houses, doing trash outs, which was an adventure in and of itself, because
you never know what you're going to find.
You have no idea what you're going to find.
Did you ever find people still in there?
One time. No, 2 times. Wow. I did an apartment actually in downtown Phoenix, and drilling open the lock, and after I'd knocked multiple times, drilling open the lock, open the door, and a little altar with candles still lit.
Oh gosh.
And I hear the back window open, and footsteps take off. Crazy. So somebody, there's a squatter had been in there or whatnot, but that was a little, made me jump a little bit.
Yeah.
But you never know what you're going to find. It's either a spick and span clean house and they'd taken everything, or they'd been living there and just trashed it and thrown trash bags.
Because a lot of people were upset about it, so they would just damage their house.
They're mad that they're losing their house.
Tear up drywall.
Tear it all up, pull out wires, pull plumbing fixtures, anything that they can damage. Yep. Or people leave, and then you have
Squatters
vandalizers or vandalism, or squatters come in and then just tear it up again. So it was actually an adventure almost every single day, because you're just like, what are we going to find today?
Her dad did a lot of those.
He did, yeah. I remember that too. You know what's funny is like thinking back to early days, right? Your early days of marriage and getting your life established, and now you're a new dad and all of that. Like there's a little bit of like a grind in that, but there's also a little beauty in that struggle.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? Like I can look back at some of those times and like very fondly, even though in the moment it felt like so hard, right? But I think it teaches you what's really important, what really matters. And then also you take some of those lessons, and then hopefully you take them into your life and actually build upon that, right? And realize, okay, like how do I set myself up so I don't have to struggle or whatever? It doesn't mean that you won't, but I think it teaches you lessons. And I think that grind and that hard where you have to figure it out is actually a really good thing, especially for young people.
Especially when you start having babies too, because that's a time when you need to have some money to make stuff work. And it's usually the opposite. You usually have more money when you're older. You don't need as much as you do when you're younger. But I think it's designed that way, right?
I think so. I think it teaches you resilience. Yeah. It teaches you patience, right? And teaches you also not to put yourself first.
Yeah.
Right. Teaches you to put with those kids and other things. It teaches you to put those things first and change your perspective a little bit, right?
I always say this. Elise is my oldest, and I remember when she was born, I was like, they told me in the hospital, like, okay, you have to have a nighttime routine, like give her a bath and put her to bed the same time every night. And I was like, I'm a rule follower, so I was like, okay, to do that. And I remember like we'd be out or something and I'd be so tired, and I'm like, oh, I gotta give her a bath. I gotta like do that whole thing, to put her to bed. And it was just like, I can't just like go home and like lay on the couch. Like, no, I have another human to take care of. but it's also so beautiful.
It is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you instantly go from like being super selfish to like you can be.
Yeah. Which again is interesting because you be getting married and then having Bella so quickly.
Yeah.
There was just like just kind of threw a wrench in everything, but also was a huge blessing and change in perspective of what we had moving forward.
Yeah.
Right?
So how did you go from that to running your business?
Running the business.
Yes. And you need to talk about what your business is. What is it?
Absolutely. So Rock Bottom Stones are a stone countertop company. Started out as after 2010, 2011, 2012, again, I went on a whim and decided to start driving truck, moving oil rigs in North Dakota. So I would go up to North Dakota and work for a 2-week on, 1 week off rotation. So I'd go up there for 2 weeks, live up there, and come home for a week and have the week off here with my family. But it got to the point where that wasn't working out very well. Oil prices plummeted. The oil companies decided to start, they call it stacking rigs. So you start taking down the rigs because it's cheaper to keep them stored instead of actually working them because they're not making any money off the oil. So they go stack rigs. So we're taking down rigs, and then it got to the point where I was going up there for 2 weeks, and I'd work for like 2 days. Get 2 days of work out of the 2 weeks that I was up there. That just wasn't working out. So I was coming home, and that week that I was off, I started working for my dad, who was a general contractor at the time, and just kind of managing projects for him, doing some handyman stuff for him. And we decided to start he kind of had bought some basic equipment, and my main installer now, Caesar, was working for another fabricator at the time, and then in the afternoons would come work and do little jobs for my dad on the side. And then we started because we were doing the remodels, we just used the countertop business as that. And so my dad's company, JT Construction, was kind of the foundation of that. And he got a whim and decided he was done dealing with homeowners, done with construction, and decided to open up a restaurant. So he completely went off a different end.
What kind of restaurant?
It's a steakhouse, barbecue and steakhouse. Yeah. So currently they've got one in Casa Grande.
What is it?
The Hideout Steakhouse in Casa Grande, and then they've got one in the original one that they did in Utah. So yeah, him and his buddy decided to open up this restaurant and left me with a couple jobs to finish up, kind of project manage and finish up. And we had bought a forklift, a basic wood table, like cutting fabrication wood table, a couple slab racks to store our slabs in, and we were in a shop, like a storage building that a company had turned into rentals for shops. And so we moved into there, and it was probably like a 20 by 15-foot building, just barely big enough for us to work out of and do a few jobs. And so that was end of 2012. That was about September, October 2012 that we started that. And so my dad left that, and I'm like, I've seen him deal with customers and homeowners and dealing with either full build houses, custom homes, or remodels where you're in with the customer for months or years at a time, right? Like, I really don't want to do that. But I do speak Spanish, so I can work really well with the trades. And I do actually enjoy the stone business, the countertop business. So I said, okay, we're going to run with it. So I used his license for a few years, worked under JT Construction's license for a little bit, and then was able to get my own license for the countertop business and started Rock Bottom Stone.
And rock bottom.
Rock bottom. We started from the absolute rock bottom.
Yeah,
you couldn't have got more basic. We didn't even have Our saw we used at the beginning was a skill saw with a stone blade on it and a water hose ran to it that we manually pushed with our hands with a couple straight edges and cut countertops like that.
Yeah.
And that's where we started.
Did you have any big mistakes?
Biggest mistake, trying, and I've thought about this multiple times, trying to do everything myself, right? Obviously I couldn't do a lot of the manual labor myself, so we had guys to do that. But as far as managing the business, customer relations, bookkeeping, answering the phone, all of that, I was wearing all the hats, right? That's the biggest mistake I made is trying to do too much myself, which is probably one of the most difficult things when you're starting a business, I think, right?
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Because you don't have the money.
You don't
to
have
pay
the
somebody
funds
else.
to do it, to pay somebody else. Or at least you don't think you do.
Yes.
And then when you realize, oh, I should have, if I had hired one other person, I would have had more time to focus in other areas
made more money.
that would have made me more money, right?
I think that's one of the biggest challenges with all small businesses is how do you scale and maintain the quality, right? Because nobody cares about your business as much as you do as the owner. But then how do you leverage yourself so that you can focus on the things that are the highest dollar value things to do?
Correct.
Or not necessarily the highest dollar value, but the things that are most valuable.
Right.
Like for us, it's spending time with clients, it's being at events, it's our events, those kind of things.
Right.
And those don't necessarily bring dollars right then, but they're the most valuable things we can do.
Correct. They're the investment in your future, in your company, right? Right. You're the face of your business.
Yeah.
You've got to get out there and show face at these things, right?
Well, like even bookkeeping, like that makes me want to throw up.
I don't know,
just dealing with spreadsheets and stuff like that, that's not my wheelhouse.
Not fun.
Could I do it? Yeah, but it's not my strength.
Yeah.
So let's pay somebody to do that,
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
And so you've been doing this for what, 10, 12 years?
Just over 12 years.
Yeah. And what do you think is kind of like some of your secrets to success?
I'm going to use an example of what we recently happened to us, right?
Okay.
So we just did that house for you guys on Sandy Court. It's been a long time since I've done any plumbing hookups for anybody, because I used to do that just to make some extra income when we started, because we were only doing like one kitchen on a Saturday, right? So I'd go in and do the plumbing as well and try to make an extra $100, $150 a week. And, but we've kind of phased out of that. My license doesn't cover it. But I said, okay, Janine, I'm going to do this plumbing. It'll be a quick one. Yeah. I might have to make one trip to Home Depot.
Now I remember.
You remember? So I'm like, okay, I might have to make one trip to Home Depot just to get a couple parts, but I know I can do this within 30, 45 minutes. I'll be in and out. I'll be done. What happens? Get the lockbox, the key out of the lockbox, go in the house, get started.
Oh, is that the one you were calling me for the code?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Get in the house, and get everything done. I'm like, okay, I got to run one trip to Home Depot. Go to Home Depot, close everything, lock it all up, leave the key inside the garage, close the garage door, and go out the garage.
Yeah, we've done that.
One key, so I locked it in there. Taking accountability for my mistakes, right? It cost me an extra hour and $120 for new locks. But what do? I go to Home Depot again. I drill out the locks because I've got experience in that. I've done that. And then swap out all the locks for you, get new keys. And that was my mistake, and I owned up to it. One of my favorite books is Extreme Ownership.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jocko Willink, right? Taking accountability for both successes and failures.
Yeah. I love that. For me, who I work with matters. And those are like perfect examples, because there are some vendors that would be like,
Sorry.
figured out,
Yeah.
Janine.
Yeah.
And now your problem becomes my problem.
Right.
And it's like, I don't want to work with, because that's how we operate too,
Yep.
right? Stuff's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just, it's actually more important how you handle it than the fact that the mistake happened. And how you recover from it, that makes all the difference.
Right.
And for our clients, which in theory, I'm your client, it makes all the difference. And I don't need any more stress added to my plate, right? So
Yeah.
just knowing, okay, that happened. You were like, Janine, I'm like, okay. You're like, I'm going to handle it. I was like, oh, it just took that stress off, you know? So that was huge. And that for sure is going to guarantee that I'm going to use you again,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Because it's like, he owned it and he made it right.
You chalk it up to just an expensive mistake, right?
Right.
It's an expensive lesson.
Yeah.
I love that.
Don't lock the key in the house, right?
We've all done stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ryan's had some very expensive
Yeah.
mistakes.
But I remember one of my very first transactions. It was basically miscommunication and paperwork, and I ended up having to buy my clients a washer and dryer, and because I wanted to take care of them.
Yeah.
Well, because of that, I had 3 more transactions with them.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
So had I not done that, it probably wouldn't
They would have
happen.
never used you again, right?
So yeah, it's a $500 mistake.
Yeah. Yep. And so, and I think that goes to play into another key to success is maintaining relationships, right? Most all of my clients, unless they're newer ones within the last couple of years, I've maintained from the beginning. Just maintaining those relationships, being committed, and doing what you say when you say you'll do it,
for
right?
sure.
And if people can count on you, because trades, there's something with trades that we get a bad rap.
Yes.
Either
Yeah.
one, we don't answer the phone,
Yes.
we don't return the phone calls, or we don't show up and do what we say we're going to do.
Yes. And we talk
And
about
if you
that
can
all the
take care of
time.
those 3 things,
Yes.
you're going to be at the
Yes.
top of the list, right?
So-
Top
We say that
1%.
all the time.
So we surround ourselves with people that do that are really good at it because they get it, right?
Right.
And they understand the key to success. And it's those simple things.
It's so insane to me how easy it is to just elevate yourself by just doing those things. And it kills me when I, in my business, have an opportunity to feed you a lot of business, how you wouldn't take care of that relationship to make sure that I continue to do that. And value that. And for those that don't, then I will just move on, right?
Yeah.
And the ones that do. And then also for me, recommending you to a client makes all the difference because I'm putting my name behind it. So if they have a bad experience, that reflects poorly on me too.
That's why
So-
you're on our vendor list.
Yeah.
Because we know it's going
And
to
I
be taken
appreciate
care
that.
of.
Yeah, absolutely.
It does make a huge
And
difference.
so just for people to know, why we use you so much is not just because of that, but the nature of our business, we're referring clients that need, basically remodels of their kitchen, or at least new counters to freshen it up so that we can actually get it sold for top dollar.
Correct.
Or our own stuff that we've had you do, right? So
Yep.
you've done my rental property too, right?
Yep.
So, and just knowing that it's going to be done really well, because this is the problem. Trades are really good at their trade. They're good at the skill set, but very rarely do you find somebody that's equally good at running the business.
Correct.
And that's all those things you just mentioned, right? It's showing up on time, answering your phone, communicating, pricing fairly, all those things, right? And it's often like this. And so you're right. What we do is we just move on.
Yeah.
We just move on because it's not even worth the time, unfortunately, to give the feedback because it's most of the time going to fall on deaf ears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm all about like a second chance, but that's it. I can't do more than that.
Right.
Because it is a reflection of us.
GT, I want to talk about, there's 2 things that I want to talk about, but the first one is doing this for 12 years. It can't always be easy, right? There's ups and downs and ebbs and flows and personal things that come up. Like, how has that journey been for you? Your kids are a little bit older, 13 and 17, is that right?
Yeah. So I got Bella and Kinley at 13 and 17.
And they're 2 girls, so by the way, you're in the thick of it. I feel for you.
This is good times.
This episode is sponsored by Matt Dallas with Stroll Seville. Thank you for watching the episode. Our podcast is called The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. And I love sharing these real life stories, but we are also in the real estate business. And so if you have any real estate needs, maybe you're thinking about buying or selling or wanting to invest in real estate, we would love to help you.
Yeah, I am a testosterone-filled man in a estrogen-filled house. Between my wife, 2 girls, and 2 female dogs,
Oh gosh.
we have got the estrogen.
So do you have a shop? I mean, what do you
covered.
Yeah. How do you handle that? What do you do? You just go work out? What do you do?
No, I've tried to get back into taking care of my body for sure, working out, eating right, because there was a time where either business was so busy that I just felt like I don't have time. Business has got to get taken care of. But that took a toll on my body. It took a toll on my relationship with my wife. It took a toll on my relationship with my girls and my family, right? And so
how?
Time.
Were you tired?
Oh man, all the time, right? When you don't take care of your body, you lose that energy, right? You don't have, because owning a business, running a business, doing everything you have to do is emotionally, mentally, physically draining, right? And then you add on top of that what you have to do with your family, and you come home at the end of the day exhausted. You don't want to do anything. And so you just change. You become a different person. And the person I wasn't who I wanted to be.
Which was what?
Distant.
Not present.
Not engaging, not present. Just not. And this has also come, and I'll be a huge advocate for counseling. My wife and I, marriage counseling, we have spent, again, I said I'm an open book. We've spent the last 2.5 years and thousands of dollars on marriage and relationship counseling with the two of us, just working on creating a more sound foundation. Because with mistakes of my own, for sure, and then just not having that time from marriage and dating to running through or having the first child, having Bella, our first one's come so quick. Like there just wasn't a chance for us to get to know each other as good as we should have. And issues that I brought into the marriage, issues that she brought into the marriage.
Which we all do.
Right? And so, and again, I'll be the 100% advocate for, none of us have the tools that we need to fix the problems that we bring into our relationships.
Yeah.
Well, it's two like messed up, imperfect, sinful people trying to come together.
100%.
With different expectations.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think the other thing is, I've been married for, I think it's 23 years? I don't know, something like that. So I feel like I have a little bit of time under my belt. And, I think people think, oh, marriage, I'm like, it's supposed to be happy and roses all the time. And it's like, no, like you're doing life and you're doing hard stuff together. And I've heard the saying that God didn't design marriage to make us happy. He designed it to make us holy. Because when we have those struggles, it points us to Him. And I think that's such a great reminder when we go through those hard times of like, okay, this is actually kind of part of the process. It's how we get through it. And so I love that you said like bringing someone else in as a counselor to help you is so good. My husband and I have done the same thing, and those tools and just really helping us to talk through things is like invaluable.
Well, isn't it interesting how it has such a negative connotation or stigma? But what better investment can you make in the most important
100%.
relationship you'll ever have?
100%. Right. Like there is nothing more important than your relationship with your spouse or your significant other. And why not invest that? Why not invest that time and money into something that is that important, right? And let's get rid of the stigma. Let's get rid of the I guess stigma is probably the best word for it.
Well,
I'm trying to think of a different word for it, but
men especially,
break down the barriers,
Right.
break down the the macho,
Right.
I can do this on my own. I can fix this.
Almost like pride.
Pride,
Yeah.
right? Pride, and just be humble enough to accept that I don't have the tools to fix what needs to be fixed. I don't have, it's the same thing in my business. You have very, very good entrepreneurial business owners that know how to run their business, but are failing at home.
Right.
How,
Right.
and so my biggest goal is to have a level playing field where we're all on the same level. High level of success in the family, high level of success in the business, and high level of success in the spiritual realm, right?
I love that.
Whereas those all three need to be high.
Yeah.
A lot of people run high here and very low here and mediocre here.
Right. We see that.
Right?
Yeah.
And what's it, when you get to the end of your life, like, was it worth it if you lost your family, but you have this successful business? Because your business isn't going to be there when you're on your deathbed, right?
Nope.
Yeah, we know lots of people that they seem to be killing it in business, but I know the home life is a wreck.
Home life's a wreck.
And my favorite quote, you know it, David O. McKay, no success will ever compensate for failure in home.
Yeah.
And like, you know, even I've been on the other side where I've focused too much on my business, and it's at the sacrifice or the detriment of my family. And so I've had to learn that the hard way too. And it's like, fortunately, I learned it and have made those changes so that I can protect that, because it is so important.
It's always a challenge though, right? I mean,
It is.
I remember my corporate life, and I was preparing for an interview, and they always ask a question that's similar to, you know, what's your biggest challenge? And I said, I can tell you my challenge, and that's balancing my professional life with my family life and my spiritual life. You just said all three of them, and because I have responsibilities in each one. And it is a constant struggle to just make sure that I'm spending the right time with each, and I'm where I'm supposed to be, right? It's everyone's challenge.
Yeah.
Biggest challenge, I think.
I have, our lender gave us these little signs, and I have it in my garage right before you go in the house, and it says, give them the best of you, not the rest of you. And it's such a great reminder
Absolutely.
to like let it go and like be fully present and engaged. you
Shout
know?
out to Mr. Williams for that.
Yeah. JT, you shared, and I don't know if you feel comfortable, so stop me. You shared about pornography and how that was a struggle in your marriage. What would you say? Because I heard this stat recently, like it's like a crazy all-time high for men, and it's hitting our young men younger and younger. And it's really becoming almost like this epidemic of a problem. My husband just went to an event with Steve Weatherford called Launchpad, and they went around and shared in these groups, and like the majority of the men, when they were sharing their struggles, pornography was like one of the top. And it was so sad. And you shared, I think, really vulnerably, but also like very inspiring, kind of what you guys went through as a couple. What do you, yeah.
Yeah, so when I mentioned some of my own mistakes, that's one of them, one of the biggest ones. Again, I'm trying to stay not emotional here.
Yeah, you're good.
Because I might get there.
That's all right.
We've all cried on this podcast, all of us.
Many times. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So my pornography story goes back to about 14, when I was first exposed to it, which in today's terms is actually old.
It's
Right?
twice the age.
It's 7 or 8 years old.
that kills
That
me.
is the first
First major exposure.
major experience with pornography for children, and that's not boys exclusive anymore.
Yeah,
It's
kills
children,
me.
right? Because it is so much more accessible, and the working through that.
Just saying, I still remember the first time I did too.
Yeah.
I can't remember how old I was, but I remember exactly where it was and who was with
Who
me.
it was,
Yeah.
and I still remember the photos. I don't remember every photo or every picture or whatever
I've
I've
heard
looked
that.
at, right?
Yeah.
But I still remember the first time that I was exposed to it, where it was, and what I saw.
You know, if I may, I
Yeah.
just have to say this. So I think it's so interesting because I too remember when I was younger, it was like magazines, and I remember a neighbor kid showing us.
That's what happened to me.
And I was so grossed out and sick as a little girl, and I couldn't go to sleep, and I like went and told my mom. And I think that's the difference, to be honest, between a boy and a girl. Is like a boy is you guys are so visual that it was probably very like enticing. Whereas for me as a young girl, I was like, this is gross, I don't like this, and it made me feel yucky. But I could see how like you guys get sucked into it.
And I'm going to turn that a little bit on you and ask you a question. What made you comfortable, or why did you feel like you could go to your parents and talk about that? Because I didn't, right? And I don't blame my parents for that, really, because nobody really had the tools or talked about it. It was so taboo at the time that it was just a closed book, and the mental aspect of it and what it does to change your mind and everything, it just wasn't, the resources weren't available. But open connection and communication with your parents, I think, was huge. And
I knew they wouldn't, because I went to my mom, she wouldn't shame me for it,
Yeah.
So I think that safe place.
Right.
Absolutely. And I think for me, it was just the guilt of like, that was not, I wasn't supposed to see that,
Yeah.
But that's where I think just the differences too between our brains, right?
How old were you?
Huh?
How old were you?
I would think I was like 8 or 9.
So you didn't even know you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. I just was like, what is this? Yeah.
Yeah. And so, that has been a lifelong struggle since I was 14. And there's been ebbs and flows, where it hasn't been an issue, and then it comes back, and so we've been, again, through our last 2.5 years of counseling, been actively working on that between us, and again, finding those tools and those keys to openly communicate and to connect. What does pornography do to people? What does any addiction do to a person, right? It cuts off connection. You become so either obsessed with your addiction or shamed by it, that you cut connection off from those you love and those around you and those that you need the connection with the most, and God.
Which is what the enemy wants.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. In order to isolation brings despair, depression, disconnection, right? It's the enemy to all good, I think.
He wants you to think you're the only one that has that problem.
And yes, again, isolation, right? You're the only one. And then you go out and you start going to SA groups or different meetings, and you find out, man,
Well,
my story's not that bad, or
you're not alone.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Start connection.
I remember when you first started talking about it, and I actually admired you for it, because most men won't.
No.
Right? Most people won't.
Right.
And it takes a tremendous amount of guts, and I think it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, I agree. I think it was like a huge vulnerable moment for you to be so honest, but I totally think your story can help somebody else, because you guys, as you said, right, it's never like one and done, right? Like I'm cured and I don't have that struggle anymore. But here you are on the other side. It's out in the open, right? You've obviously discussed it. You and your wife have worked through some of that. Like, what are some of the things that you would say to somebody listening if that's their struggle? Like, what are some, good habits around preventing that or working through it?
I honestly would say, if you're a man struggling with it right now, you have to go. You have to go to a meeting. Go to a meeting and meet with other guys that are struggling with it.
What kind of meeting?
SA, Sexaholics Anonymous, and so that it covers everything, basically, right? Okay. Go to a meeting and see the other men there. Connect with them. And then beyond that, if you are married, go see a counselor and work on communicating and connecting with your spouse. Because there's nothing better than being able to work through that together and then have that communication and connection where, again, pornography cuts you off from connecting. You're either hiding or you're doing it, in my case, out of either resentment or I'm not getting this or we disconnected, right? But once you connect, the need for it completely disappears. It's absolutely amazing.
And it loses its
right?
power.
It loses its power. And so when you're able to connect and like I feel like a lot of men too feel like, oh yeah, I'm connected with my wife. We're intimate a couple times a month or a week or whatever it is. You're not. You're not. Especially if you have that in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should ask her if she thinks you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll know. She'll know.
Oh, I guarantee.
Yeah, ask your wife and she'll know. But you also have to be vulnerable and open. You have to take off that. Well, no, I'm going to say this differently. I was going to say take off the masculine. I'm going to say put on the masculine. Put on the man.
Yes.
And man up to your mistakes.
Oh, I love that.
That's good.
Right. Man up to your mistakes. 99% of women are going to be understanding,
Yeah.
forgiving when you own your mistakes. When you hide them and you don't own up to them, that's when they're going to have issues.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that and being so honest and real. And I just think, again, I think from what we're hearing, right, more and more men are really struggling with that because they have it so readily available.
Accessible on
like
anything.
Insane. And now, and then we'll move on, but AI there's like so many things that are like, it's getting crazy.
It's crazy. My wife just texted me a podcast from one of our favorite John Deloney.
Yeah.
If you know Dr. John.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's like, I didn't even know this AI thing was because the wife had found out that her husband was having a relationship with this AI girlfriend, and
I was
like,
in a board meeting last night. And
again, connection.
They were saying like within an hour they had done, and like they found 85. Like this lady had and just within an hour she was able to find 85 different options to create these things. I don't even know.
Apparently there was a wedding ceremony. This lady married her AI.
Yeah, it's so disgusting.
And I can see why, relationships are hard, right? Marriage is hard.
100%.
And so if you don't want to deal with that conflict and worry about that growth and you just want to make it easy, I guess.
I mean, if they're going to be at your every beck and call and do anything you want, I guess, I don't know, whatever if that's your thing, it's danger. It's danger, right?
It will not be alert,
it will not lead to happiness.
Yeah.
It will not lead to happiness.
Sure.
It will lead again to disconnection and isolation.
Yeah. As a mom raising a 13-year-old son, I mean, my husband and I are like really doing our hardest to not give him a phone.
Yeah.
Because I know that's like the portal, right? And just to like keep communication open with him.
Well, and here's something that I've kind of learned too as a dad of boys and girls and a young men's leader. I don't ask the question, have you seen pornography? No. It's when was the last time?
Oh, yeah, Ryan.
And how did it come to you? Like, how did you see it? Where did it come from? And then what did you do?
Yeah.
How did you handle it?
Yep.
So that's really the question.
It is.
When was the last time?
When was the last time? Yeah. And how did it happen?
Especially if they have a phone, and especially if they're on social media.
Yeah. No.
That's why I tell, like, we have prolonged Gavin. He's now 14. Just now got his first phone. we prolong this to twice the age of what most of his friends had.
Yes.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But there's a
when they're the only
correlation
ones that don't.
when you're seeing it as 7-year-old
Yeah.
and when people are getting phones. I mean, it's not coincidental.
Yep. Yep.
Killing me.
Yeah, the average child gets their first phone, usually an iPhone.
Not me.
8, 9,
Yeah.
right?
Bust out the flip phones, man.
Jason's
Bust them
gonna hate
out,
me.
bring them back, right?
Or the
Bring 'em back.
the rotary with a cord. There's actually a group that's coming, like a company's coming back out with that. It's a home phone.
A home
love
phone,
it.
Just for the
a
kids.
wireless
It's
home
Right,
phone with
right.
a cord on
It
it that
looks
has
like
to be
the
like
old- yeah.
drilled into the
Well,
countertop.
and the hard part too is that even if I don't give my son a phone, his friends
Yes.
have it.
and they're going to be probably
that's-
showing him. So
And
that's
that's-
why, to your point,
Going back to my first exposure, it wasn't my magazine.
right.
It was this
Yep.
crumpled up thing that this neighbor kid
It wasn't
had.
my computer. I don't even think we
Yeah.
had a computer in our
Yeah.
house at the time.
Yeah.
It was somebody else's computer.
Pray
right.
for me and pray for my
Right.
son.
And hopefully they're building relationships with friends that wouldn't never do that.
Right.
And if they do, say, don't ever show me that again, right?
Right.
So
Okay, I'm going to switch gears
Okay.
just a little bit. My other question for you is, what are trends that you're seeing
Yes.
in countertops?
Okay, get into the design concepts with the non-designer guy.
but you're seeing a lot.
No, but I do see the trends big
Yeah.
time. I mean, and everybody will be familiar with the 2000. It probably started in 2020, 2021 during COVID. We got into heavy whites and grays, heavy, or white on white. Like
Yeah.
it was white countertops,
Yeah.
white floors, white cabinets,
And gray walls.
and gray walls, right? And then, but
that's my
it's still
Yeah.
the more in the countertop industry, the designers, the stone engineers, they're going towards obviously more earth tones, more natural looks. So you're getting away from the plasticky look of quartz.
Right.
The designs are starting
So
to
it's
look
more grainy. Granite.
more veiny marble. Whether it's a manufactured stone like a porcelain or a quartz, you're getting into the back into the natural stones of granites and quartzites.
So you're seeing more browns.
I wouldn't say browns.
Okay.
I would say taupes, creams,
Yeah.
Okay.
tans, darker cabinets. Sorry, with whether that's a dark green, a hunter green, or dark blues, and then a earthy light tone countertop. Not completely white, not just white and gray, but more grayish,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think is the word
Yes,
for it,
Yeah.
right?
it is,
Yep.
yeah.
Grayish countertops that have white with gray brown undertone veining,
Yeah.
natural veining going through it. Whether
Yeah.
that's a natural stone again, or a quartz.
Yeah, and
Engineered
then
stone.
is like a thicker cabinet or a thicker countertop more
That's another
desirable?
thing that's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go straight to. I mean, normal was everybody just wanted a straight, normal 1.5
Mm-hmm.
flat eased edge, we call it in our business. But the OGs, even we're getting super decorative right now, where we're doing OG over bullnose. We're doing skirts, where we're actually working on one right now where it's a full bullnose vanity bathroom top. 1.5 full bullnose with a 5-inch skirt and then a bullnose underneath it.
Crazy.
Wow.
So it's a full, it's 7 inches
Wow.
of edging, but that's very detailed there.
Yeah.
You probably see it in an upper end, a higher end, like restroom or something, like that. But getting back into those more detailed, elegant
Yeah.
look
I love it.
of stone,
Yeah.
which is I really like to get into because it brings out the craftsmanship of the fabricator.
Yeah.
Where your standard run-of-the-mill fabricator, they're really good and they've got the machines to run the polish on the flat edges. But when you get into detailed edging like that, you start to notice the difference between a skilled craftsman, skilled fabricator, and somebody that is just trying to do it out of their backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So you install a lot of sinks. What do you see sinks wise? What are new things with those?
Farm sinks are still, and kitchens, farm sinks are still
With the
pretty
apron?
popular with the apron front sinks.
Yeah.
Still popular. And then for the longest time, again, it was the single basin, wanted the big open. A lot of the sink manufacturers have figured out that we can still have that concept, but do a small divider in the middle.
Yep.
So you have a smaller divider where it's either a 50-50 or a 60-40 split.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you still have a little, you can fill it up with soapy water on one side. People still like that traditional soap and rinse side, right?
Yeah.
And so you still have that. And then rectangle sinks in the bathrooms, just standard white porcelain rectangles, whether that's a Kohler or a no-name brand, that those are still the way to go in the bathroom. So
That's
Okay,
awesome.
good.
yep.
That's awesome. JT, what didn't we ask you that we should have asked you?
Oh boy. I don't know. I'll probably think of it when I get back out in my car.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we covered
covered
pretty
it?
much
Okay.
everything from life to
Yeah.
business and everything else in between. So
Okay. Well, we like to end with our speed round of rapid fire questions.
Oh, boy.
So are you up for that?
Let's hear it.
Okay,
Yep,
this is
you got 'em.
easy.
Okay.
What's your favorite color?
red.
Ooh, I don't
I'm a
know
red.
if we've had a red before.
Yeah.
Favorite food?
Oh man.
Steak.
So okay, I gotta put a plug in for my dad here. Yes, I gotta put a plug in my dad there is nothing better than a steak on a stone. So his restaurant, and there was another concept. Actually, the partner that opened up Steak and Stone that here in the first one was at Falcon Field, but his restaurants, they bring out a 500-degree stone and a raw steak.
Yeah.
And you're able to cook it right there in front of you. Cool. So every single bite is hot, warm, juicy, and seasoned perfect. That's the way to go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
Do you have
answer.
a favorite drink?
I don't really, but there is, and I'm so mad at Costco. I think everybody gets mad at Costco because they bring things in and then they discontinue them.
Yeah.
They have these blue mango drinks or blue monkey drinks, and they're carbonated juice water.
Oh.
55% juice, so it's not just like your LaCroix or whatever. But it's actually like 55% natural juice, no other added stuff in it, and they're
That's
just
cool. Because
delicious.
I can't
to
stand
go
LaCroix.
to.
That's kind of a running joke on our team.
So,
I love a good
yeah.
sparkling drink too.
Yep. Other than that, I'm a water guy. I've had to train myself actually to be a water guy. I will indulge in a Dr. Pepper with coconut.
Yes.
The Dr. Pepper
Like a
coconut
dirty
cream, the
Dr. Pepper.
dirty Dr. Pepper,
Yeah.
Dirty DPs, that's like a staple in my household.
Yeah. So I'll have one of those every once or twice a month, but other than that, it's water or a blue monkey drink.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Blue monkey.
I didn't stock up enough. We're almost on our last box, and so we got to wait till next summer. I'm afraid.
Right.
For them to come
Okay.
back.
What about? Do you have a favorite book?
Again, Extreme Ownership is probably one of the best. Entre Leadership.
That's Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey's Entre Leadership.
Which that reminds me, we're doing a financial peace class.
Oh, you are?
In
Yes.
January,
Oh, cool.
starting.
Are you?
So we're
You're going to get a
teaching it.
facilitator? Oh, nice.
That's going to be so good.
Power Ranch, yeah.
Cool. And then The Richest Man in Babylon. Yep.
My husband got
Probably
me that.
three
I
of
haven't
my favorites.
So there are several books that I have a friend that he taught me this. He's like, there are probably 10 books that I read every year. I'm like, really? And he'll go, or every other year, he'll go back and read them again.
That's
and
cool.
that's one of them. Like just one of those perpetual,
I
just
have it
awesome
on my
books.
nightstand. I need to read that.
Yeah. And then on addiction, I just finished one. And I listen to books more than I read. I'm not a huge reader, but I
drive a lot.
I'll drive a lot, and I'll put it on in the car.
And you can speed it up a little bit too.
And you can speed up because my reading is like so slow. So and my mind. So ADHD. Okay, I've got tons of books, but on addiction specifically, In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts by Gabor Mate. Mate, I think is how you pronounce it. He is, if you look him up on YouTube, any of you will be amazed by any of his.
What's it called?
In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts.
In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts. Okay.
I love that.
My Gabo Mate.
Okay.
Yeah, any of his books are like just short clips on YouTube are just so inspiring.
Okay. Do
Very
you have
cool.
a favorite podcast?
Are you a podcast listener?
I obviously Joe Rogan, love Joe Rogan, and then, dude, there's so many. So as I go through different journeys in life, I've got a favorite faith one, I've got a favorite business one. The Sean Ryan Show is another
That's
good
a
one
good
that I
one.
really like
Yeah.
to listen to.
Yeah.
He's just got a wide range
I like him.
of
Yeah.
of guests that speak from everything gun related, which I'm an enthusiast of,
Yeah.
to politics and religion and
Yeah.
faith. So,
I love
yeah.
Okay, last question. What do you want to be known for?
I wrote this down a couple weeks ago, and it's always been in the back of my mind, but I finally was able to put it on words into paper. I guess so it's part of our BNI group, and my burning desire in life is to create a Gillespie family legacy that learns from the achievements and failures of those gone before us. So I want to be known for having created a family legacy that lasts generations, that has broken the molds of the failures and the past.
Almost like sometimes they call it like generational
Curses, generational traumas, and working through that so that that's not passed on, and that the successes are continued. Right.
That's amazing. I love
That's
that.
a very cool answer. I've never heard that.
I love that.
As a burning desire, so that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome. Thank you, JT.
Thank you.
For sharing
Yeah, this was awesome.
with us and just being so honest. And I think our listeners will love it.
Good.
So thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the Real Deal podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on social media at the Home Selling Team AZ.